The night was colder than usual in 1959. A biting Siberian wind sliced through the pines, carrying whispers that seemed to come from another world. 9 experienced hikers, young, strong, and full of life, set out to conquer the icy slopes of the Ural Mountains. They were fearless, but what they were about to face on the other side of those ridges would become one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries in human history. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident, a nightmare, frozen in time. Welcome to Whispers of Shadows. It all started with silence. The group, led by the capable Igor, had promised to send a radio message once they reached their destination, the Muntano Torten. But days turned into weeks, and the airwaves remained empty. A knot of dread began to tighten. Finally, search teams were dispatched into the vast, snow-covered wilderness. When they reached the hikers' last known campsite, what they discovered defied all logic and sent a shiver down the spines of even the most hardened rescuers. There it was, the tent, half buried in a blanket of fresh snow. But something was terribly wrong. It had been ripped open from the inside. Inside, everything was almost eerily neat. Belongings, boots, and warm coats were still there, waiting for their owners. Whatever had made them flee into the deadly, freezing night, it was something so terrifying that it caused 9 people to run barefoot into a blizzard. As the search party followed the strange, desperate trail of footprints, the horror only deepened. The first 2 bodies were found near the charred remains of a small fire, beneath a towering pine tree. They were barefoot, dressed only in their underwear. Their hands were burned, as if they desperately tried to cling to the last embers of life. A few hundred meters away, 3 more hikers were discovered, their frozen postures suggesting they were crawling back towards the safety of the tent before their strength finally gave out in the crippling snow. But 4 were still missing. The search continued, but the mountain held its secrets tight. It wasn't until spring arrived, and the thick layers of snow began to melt, that the final 4 were uncovered, and that's when the real nightmare began. They were found in a ravine, buried under 4 meters of snow. Their injuries were catastrophic. One woman was missing her tongue. Another had a crushed skull, the result of an impact stronger than a car crash. Yet there were no external wounds, no breaks in the skin. Their eyes, gone. To make it even stranger, traces of radiation were found on some of their clothing, with no logical explanation for its presence. The Soviet investigators, baffled and perhaps terrified by what they'd found, quickly closed the case. Their official conclusion was as vague as it was unsettling. An unknown compelling force caused their deaths. An unknown compelling force. What could that possibly mean? Over the decades, theories have swirled like the mountain snowstorms. Some suggested a simple avalanche, but the evidence didn't add up. The slope wasn't steep enough, and the tent itself was still partially standing. Others whispered about secret military experiments, a weapons test gone horribly wrong, with the hikers as its unfortunate witnesses. Then came the wilder, more unsettling explanations. A violent encounter with a Yeti, an attack by escaped prisoners, or even something not of this world, an alien encounter. But every single theory, no matter how logical or how outlandish, leaves crucial questions unanswered. Why did they cut their way out of the tent from the inside? Why would they run barefoot into minus 30-degree temperatures, leaving their warm clothes behind? And the most disturbing question of all, why were their bodies arranged in such a way, as if something had watched them die, one by one? In recent years, scientists and investigators have returned to Dyatlov Pass, armed with modern technology drones, ground-penetrating radar, and sophisticated computer models. Some have proposed a rare slab avalanche theory, where a block of snow could have slid down, causing panic without completely burying the tent. Others argue that the brutal injuries and the inexplicable radiation just don't fit that model. Families of the victims have spoken of strange, glowing orange orbs seen in the sky on that fateful nightlights. The military later dismissed as mere flares, but in that isolated, silent valley, where the wind still howls through the skeletal trees, the truth remains frozen, buried beneath decades of fear, speculation, and official silence. Today, Dyatlov Pass has become a grim pilgrimage site for adventurers and thrill seekers. They hike to the same spot, stand where the tent once stood, and whispered the names of those 9 souls lost to the cold. Igor, Sinaida, Rustem, Ludmila, and the others who vanished into history. Some say that on quiet nights, if you listen carefully, you can still hear the crunch of footsteps in the snow, even when no one else is there. So, what really happened on that mountain? Was it a freak act of nature, a dark human conspiracy, or something that truly defies all logic? One thing is certain: the Ural Mountains keep their secrets well, and those who listen too closely to the wind might just hear the whispers of the shadows. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you're fascinated by the mysteries that lie hidden in the dark corners of our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. In our next investigation, we descend beneath the streets of Paris into the catacombs where the walls are lined with thousands of bones, and some say the dead still speak. You won't want to miss it.